Pixie People here again, and first part was about like just setting up what Deku was doing. This episode is a bit more character driven, kind of, but we leave right where we left off. Deku was running away from the police, the police after dropping off a dude. He finally finds this warehouse and chills in it for a bit. Crazy enough, he finds a big old safe in there. Then he immediately takes a takes a dot and slaps that into it, knowing dang well he's gonna need some money. And eventually he figures out the code. Anyways, after Deku does all that, he tries finding more jobs. Of course, he can't really get a lot of jobs with condition. And Deku, then realizing he has to go to the life of criminality just to get money. Doesn't want to be a villain. It's just he has to, or to get money and to live, because his skin condition just makes people see him as a villain. So I guess he's gonna have to be like one just to get by. Anyways, Deku actually gets well known just because he's a good pickpocket. Eventually, Shigaraki finds him in his warehouse, asking Deku if he wants to join a rebellion in at the USJ, which Deku just agrees to because free money. But he does tell Shigaraki, or Han the guy, that he's gonna have to pay him up front if this is an attack mission, which makes Shigaraki a bit irritated. But he hands over a briefcase, and Deku immediately opens it just to check if it's not planted with nukes, a tracker, not a nukes, like bombs. He even checks the briefcase for any freaking creases that could hide a like thin explosive. Sorry, he. So if anyways, Deku really is making sure he doesn't get killed in this mission. So Deku decides and says he'll go. Then he puts then Deku opens a dot, throws the thing through it. And then Deku takes off the dot from midair, puts it back on his chest, and tells him, let's do this. The only reason Deku's there is for, like, numbers, not because he's any strength or anything. So Deku enters the portal, and let's say he replaces the guy that looks like Danzo's arm. Because basically he looks like that's exactly what Danzo's arm looks like. So basically Deku is the first one to walk through the portal. Anyways, Deku is about to get punched by Aizawa until he makes a and Aizawa realizes who this is, so he tries punching Deku on his chin, but Deku just puts a dot under his chin, and then he hits Aizawa with an uppercut, kicking him away. And so all the villains try to jump up on Aizawa, but Aizawa just counters them. Basically, anyone that tries interfering with the dot against the spot, he calls himself the spot because this situation, if you're wondering what I did, it was hand gestures to signify his body. So he calls himself a spot. And of course, Aizawa tries to throw a punch or scarf at Deku, and Deku just counters him. But no one can really hit Aizawa except Deku. So, eventually, Shigaraki sends the Nomu out for Aizawa. Then Aizawa, realizing that this isn't a movement. This is an assassination attempt. If you're wondering what, because he was signed up for them showing up, beating up a few guys, a few heroes to just prove a movement. But he's trying to kill Aizawa. Throws a portal right towards Aizawa, making a big dot. Then the Nomu portals through it, then spawns into the air, and then slams right back onto the concrete, actually breaking all of the Nomu's bones. But he, regenerates them, gets up, which makes Shigaraki angry, telling him why'd you do that for, and then he rightfully tells them that he didn't sign up for this. Then Shigaraki gets frustrated with him, tells the Nomu to attack him, but Deku just can't be hit because every single attack the Nomu throws just goes through Deku, and he actually hits. The Nomu starts hitting himself. So basically, Nomu keeps trying to punch Deku while Deku just stands there, like seriously. Eventually, he puts his knuckles, his fist on his hips, and basically hits the traditional hero pose, but like with a blank face. That is until Shigaraki puts his hand through the portal. Deku turns to go grab it, but guess what happens? The Nomu sneaks Deku by punching him directly in the face, which actually fractures his jaw, which makes Shigaraki grin, until Deku turns around and then brows appear on his face. Then, then, then the Nobu gets scared, like it actually gets spooked, because this guy was just chilling afterwards until he threw one punch that actually hit him. And then Deku spawns a portal on top of the Nomu, and then cuts him in half, sending the Nomu into the sky. But Deku's not done. Throws a portal under the Nomu's legs that are falling over. Then Deku And then Deku just throws another portal, getting the Nomu to fly through that, dropping the Nomu even higher into the sky. Then the Deku just keeps throwing dots until the Nomu gets so high up that he's basically freaking cloud level. Like, if you jump from a plane from that height, you die. There's no fixing yourself. Have you heard of a space jump? Yeah, that's what the Nomu's doing right now. And then then the Nomu slowly comes back down, regenerating its body, till it looks, but it doesn't realize where it is. And then Deku recalls all those dots. Then he throws a dot under the Nomu, and then under the Nomu that's about to fall, and another portal, like an inch off the ground. Slightly high. Deku. After doing that, the Nomu lands through it, splats on the ground, dead. I'm not kidding. It dies. It's a paste. You put your hand there, it feels like a pile of water. Anyways, Deku kills the Nomu, no diff, which scares Shigaraki and Korigiri. They leave. Luckily for Deku, he reaches his hand through a portal, and if you're wondering, and then Deku grabs a safe, pulls it back in, and then it lands right next to his foot. And he did a good thing, because later in the news, yeah, Deku left afterwards. He just grabbed his safe and left. Deku, after walking down the street for a bit with his casual clothes, the clothes he stole off that homeless guy a bit ago, he hasn't bought new clothes. He's just bought food and drink and the essentials. Anyways, Deku would actually, let's say he gets a new vest. Not a plaid vest, but like just a black jacket. It's a black like zipper jacket that he usually unzips, and is wearing a shirt of All Might. Let's say like just a classic All Might smile with the hair, and it's saying like "I am here" in quotes. And then Deku's still wearing a beanie. Then Deku now still having his jeans, but the knees are slightly ripped off, and his boots, like actual boots, like black boots with uh like dang it, what are they called again? Shoelaces. Goodness God, I don't know why I couldn't say that. So basically, his clothes look less dirty, run down, disgusting. Anyways, Deku finishes off, reads the news later, and sees that his warehouse was completely destroyed, like turned to dust. I wonder why, Deku inquires. Later in the day, well, after that, yeah, we're still going. Deku watches the sports festival. He liked it. He was surprised that his old friend Bakugo, quote unquote old friend, won pretty easily because this Todoroki kid didn't want to use his fire quirk, which made Deku pretty irritated. Like, why didn't he just use his quirk? It says quirk, so I don't know why he wouldn't use it. Anyways, after that, Deku finds a new warehouse actually near Hosu until his building gets destroyed again. Leaves like a massive gap. There's a Nomu there, and then Deku just immediately cuts its head off, and then he just heads back out with his safe attached to him. Then he just takes out 3 Nomu by himself. Then the bird Nomu tries to go grab him, but he cuts it in half, making it slid across the ground, slamming into a dumpster, killing it. Yeah, he kills every single Nomu without even trying. Mostly because the Nomus tried to double team him, but he just killed them all. See, the Spot's abilities are really strong, and people don't give him credit. Especially in one comic where he just gets his neck stabbed. Even though he just uses dots for the... He just used the dots to make your hands wrap around yourself and make yourself snap your neck. Okay? The Spot wouldn't just go out like a wimp if he was written correctly. Anyways, Deku walks down the street more, finds a guy being stabbed in the legs and the ribs. So he just throws one, cuts the guy that's stabbing Ida, it's Stain, arm off, which cuts its arm off with the portal, which makes the Stain scream. Then Deku grabs the sword he was using, throws it through said portal he just made, and it stabs Stain in the stomach. Which Stain gets mad at, throws some knives, makes it makes a spot and another spot, which makes the knives go into the spot, down the other spot, stab into Stain's arm, his other arm that is not unattached. Anyways, Stan's dead. Deku picks up Ida, telling him he's gonna bring him to the heroes because he's not just gonna let a person die. He's not a villain after all, he's just a guy looking for money. Anyways, Deku gives the heroes Ida, and when they try to capture him, he just spots away. By that I mean he makes a portal behind him and ba backward falls into it. Then he finds a different spot and chills there. Later, he's hired by another group, the Yakuza of Overall. But he just but he's just rising through the ranks right now. That's where I'm gonna leave things for right now. Like, subscribe, hit the post notification bell. I will see y'all later. Peace.